Imagine dropping legendary fighters like Sugar Ray Robinson or Rocky Marciano into today's boxing world. Would these old-school monsters still dominate? Or would modern training and techniques expose their weaknesses? It's a thrilling thought, isn't it? The athletes of yesterday were renowned for their tenacity, strength, and raw determination. They fought with an intensity that defined their era, facing off against each other multiple times a year, sometimes even within weeks or days. This was a time when fighters lived for the sport and fought not only for titles, but for survival. Today, the landscape of boxing has dramatically changed. Fighters now focus on months of training, with an emphasis on modern techniques, recovery methods, and scientific approaches to athleticism. But can they match the heart and grit of those from the past? Let's explore this fascinating question. What if the greatest old-school fighters entered the ring with today's champions? Would they adapt to the demands of modern training? Or would they fall short against the more strategic and conditioned athletes of the current era? This question bridges not only the gap between generations of boxing, but also highlights the enduring spirit of competition. In the following sections, we will dive into the unique attributes of both old-school and modern fighters, analyzing their training regimens, fighting styles, and the evolution of the sport itself, all while uncovering the timeless essence of a fighter's heart. Old-school fighters' toughness and fighting frequency. Old-school fighters were renowned for their unparalleled toughness, a quality that defined their entire careers. They weren't just boxers, they were gladiators in the ring, embodying a ferocity that is often romanticized today. Unlike modern fighters, who may only step into the ring 2 to 3 times a year, these legends fought with astonishing frequency, often multiple times a month. This relentless schedule was not merely a testament to their skill, but also to their grit. For example, Sugar Ray Robinson, one of the greatest to ever lace up gloves, fought an impressive 10 times in 1941 alone. That's a staggering number by today's standards, and it wasn't even his busiest year. Meanwhile, Henry Armstrong defended his welterweight title an astounding 27 times in less than 2 years, showcasing a level of activity rarely seen in today's boxing landscape. The mindset of these old-school fighters revolved around survival. They fought not only to win, but to eat, to secure their livelihoods in a world without elaborate sponsorships, healthcare, or million-dollar paydays. They maintained their training year-round with no luxury training camps to shield them from the rigors of the sport. If they didn't fight, they didn't earn. So if you wanted to thrive in that era, your body had to be built for war. You had to constantly stay ready, and this level of commitment is part of what set them apart. Their incredible frequency of fights, paired with their innate toughness, allowed these warriors to cement their legacy in the annals of boxing history. The brutal training of old-school fighters. Old-school fighters pushed their bodies to limits that are hard to imagine today, training with a sheer level of toughness and grit. Take Rocky Marciano, for instance. He didn't just hit the gym. He ran 7 miles a day, and not in light running shoes, but in heavy army boots. Imagine the toll that took on his legs, but he believed it built his endurance and strength. The same goes for Sugar Ray Robinson, who not only fought frequently, but trained relentlessly as well. Training wasn't just about hitting a heavy bag or skipping rope. It involved chopping wood for hours, an exercise meant to toughen his punches. These fighters didn't rely on fancy equipment or high-tech facilities. They had raw determination and a killer instinct. Their training routines included grueling sparring sessions, often with no breaks, rotating partners to simulate various fighting styles. For instance, Roberto Duran would spar for hundreds of rounds, insisting that a hellish gym experience would make the fight feel easy. This approach forged their bodies into fighting machines, able to go the distance, even maintaining a high pace throughout long bouts. In an era where fighters were constantly in the ring, there was little room for rest. They trained as if every day could be their last fight, leading to an unmatched level of conditioning that redefined what it means to be a fighter. The mentality was simple: no pain, no gain, and they embraced it fully. These brutal methods, where the emphasis was put on instinctive performance under pressure, formed a foundation that would influence generations to come and the determination displayed by these legends resonates even today. Modern fighters, scientific training, and athleticism. Today's fighters benefit immensely from advancements in sports science, which have revolutionized how they train, recover, and perform. Unlike their old-school counterparts, who relied heavily on raw grit and basic training methods, modern athletes utilize tailored regimens designed to maximize their potential. They engage in explosive power training, building strength while ensuring peak cardiovascular performance. This focus on athleticism means that modern fighters are not just stronger, they're quicker and more agile, a critical advantage in the ring. Take Canelo Alvarez as an example. His training regimen goes beyond mere punches. He incorporates resistance band drills, plyometrics, and weighted shadowboxing to enhance the force and speed of his punches, giving him a striking edge in championship bouts. Additionally, modern training often includes nutrition science, emphasizing optimal diets that fuel performance, promote recovery, and prevent injuries. Fighters carefully manage their weight, hydration, and overall health, creating a holistic approach to training. It's not just about time spent in the gym, but how that time is utilized, which has significantly evolved. With skill acquisition research, athletes can deliberately practice more effectively, learning techniques and strategies in a way that complements their physical training. Analytical tools and data collection also play vital roles, allowing coaches to tailor workouts based on individual athlete performance metrics. This blend of science and sport has resulted in a new breed of fighter, equipped with unparalleled capabilities. However, it's important to note that while modern training methods provide significant advantages, the heart and spirit of a true fighter remain irreplaceable. In a world where information is at our fingertips, the core of boxing still relies on the sheer will to win, making the evolution of training even more fascinating. The evolution of defense in boxing. In the world of boxing, the evolution of defense has been nothing short of revolutionary, transforming the way fighters approach their craft. In earlier eras, boxers relied heavily on raw toughness and resilience, often standing toe-to-toe to exchange blows and believing that the best defense was a strong offense. However, as the sport has evolved, so too have the strategies employed by modern fighters. Today's boxers integrate advanced footwork, sophisticated head movement, and strategic clinching, allowing them to evade punches and minimize damage taken in the ring. For instance, legendary defensive specialists like Floyd Mayweather Jr. have perfected the art of evasiveness, utilizing techniques such as the pull counter and shoulder roll to avoid opponents' punches while countering effectively. This level of defensive intellect requires not only physical agility, but also an acute understanding of timing and distance. Additionally, modern defensive techniques extend beyond mere evasion. They incorporate comprehensive strategies that involve reading an opponent's movements, predicting attacks, and creating safe spaces within the ring. Fighters now train meticulously, emphasizing agility and reflexes, employing drills that enhance their ability to slip or block incoming shots. This shift in defensive philosophy reflects a broader understanding of sport, where the focus has become less about enduring punishment and more about outsmarting opponents. As a result, we see that today's fighters combine athleticism with tactical acumen, creating a more dynamic and safer style of boxing that not only protects them in the ring, but also showcases the beauty of boxing as an art form. The evolution of defense continues to shape the landscape of boxing, pushing athletes to redefine what it means to be a successful fighter in an ever-changing sport. Could old-school legends dominate today? Imagine dropping legendary fighters like Sugar Ray Robinson or Rocky Marciano into today's boxing world. Would these old-school monsters still dominate, or would modern training and techniques expose their weaknesses? Back in the day, fighters were absolute monsters in the ring, mainly because of one thing: toughness. Unlike today's boxers, who might fight only 2 or 3 times a year, legends fought every few weeks, sometimes multiple times a month. For example, Sugar Ray Robinson fought 10 times in 1941 alone, while Henry Armstrong defended his title 27 times in less than 2 years. They had no millions of dollars, no fancy sponsorships, and no luxury training camps. They fought to live and stayed in peak shape year-round, without breaks. But you don't fight that often unless your body is built for war. Old-school fighters' training was pure grit and relentless work ethic. Take Rocky Marciano. He ran 7 miles a day in army boots and chopped wood for hours to make his punches harder. Roberto Duran sparred hundreds of rounds before fights, rotating fresh partners non-stop with no easy breaks. Their mindset was to train until they broke and then get back at it. This raw, brutal training is why they could maintain full speed for 15 rounds. Today's fighters benefit from advanced sports science, recovery plans, and cutting-edge training. They focus on explosive power, efficiency, and maximal speed. Canelo Alvarez, for instance, isn't just throwing punches. He uses resistance band drills, plyometrics, and weighted shadowboxing to add snap to every punch. Modern athletes are fitter, stronger, and smarter, optimizing their bodies to peak performance. The final verdict on old versus new school fighters. The debate over whether old school fighters could still dominate today's boxing scene is both fascinating and complex. Yes, old school fighters like Sugar Ray Robinson and Muhammad Ali could survive and even thrive in modern times. But this adaptation comes with some crucial adjustments. These legends had skills ahead of their era, and they showcased astonishing toughness, unmatched dedication, and raw grit in their training. Modern fighters, however, possess advantages that cannot be overlooked. Today's champions benefit from advanced sports science, state-of-the-art recovery techniques, and specialized training programs, allowing them to optimize their performance to new heights. Moreover, athleticism has evolved significantly. Fighters today are larger, stronger, and faster, equipped with an understanding of nutrition and recovery that was virtually absent in the past. This evolution is evident in training methods as well. For instance, resistance training and explosive power workouts have reshaped how fighters prepare for bouts. However, heart and determination remain constant factors that transcend eras. Old-school fighters fought for more than just titles. They battled for pride, survival, and legacy, giving them an indomitable spirit. This spirit is hard to quantify, but crucial in determining who prevails in the ring. In conclusion, while modern athleticism presents formidable challenges, elite old-school fighters would adapt their styles and methodologies for success. Legends possess an inherent ability to excel against any opponent in any environment. Ultimately, great fighters find a way to win, proving that the essence of boxing, whether past or present, is rooted in skill, resilience, and the will to overcome. In the end, the debate over whether old-school boxers would thrive in today's boxing landscape remains a captivating topic, one that stirs passionate opinions among fans, fighters, and analysts alike. While it's clear that fighters today are bigger, faster, and more scientifically trained, the essence of what makes a great fighter often transcends these advancements. Legendary fighters like Sugar Ray Robinson, Muhammad Ali, and Roberto Duran possess skills that were ahead of their time, allowing them to adapt and excel in any era. Their toughness, discipline, and relentless spirit are qualities that resonate throughout the ages. Yet, they also face challenges, ones that modern fighters may not encounter. The evolution of boxing strategies and techniques has led to a new breed of athletes who utilize advanced training methods and recovery science, pushing the limits of human performance. So, could old-school fighters survive in today's era? Absolutely, but they would need to make adjustments to their training methodologies, endurance, and fight strategies. Ultimately, while we can analyze stats and records, boxing is far more than numbers on a page. It's a display of heart, resilience, and the raw will to win. Great fighters, regardless of the era, find ways to adapt, to overcome, and to etch their names in the annals of history. As fans of the sport, we can appreciate both the grit of the past and the innovation of the present. This appreciation only deepens the love for boxing as we continue to witness legends being born, both old and new, in the ring.